Hey y'all, welcome to the channel, or welcome back. I don't want you guys to get caught off guard, so let's get right into today's video. You still want to prep and make sure that you're prepared. Even if you typically don't have hurricanes in your area, so much is happening, and there have been areas that have been hit that typically don't get hit. Last year in North Carolina, we had a hurricane that came through and caused massive flooding in Asheville, North Carolina, and that destroyed dozens of homes, lives, and everything. And this is, again, typically a place where this just doesn't happen. It's not along the coast of North Carolina. On the coast of North Carolina, we're typically used to things like that happening, but again, nobody saw this coming, and it affected North Carolina, Tennessee. You guys remember what was going on. Because of what's happening with the weather, whether it be, weather manipulation or just things that naturally happen, there have been tornadoes that are spawning in areas that it typically just doesn't happen in. There have been earthquakes with towns and cities where it just doesn't happen. Whether your area is affected by a natural disaster or not, you're still going to be affected. Why? Because supply chain issues. There's always supply chain issues. There are going to be shortages that you're going to be seeing. And again, we've had enough shortages and supply chain issues just in general.
I'm seeing some empty shelves. Let's look. We're seeing some pockets here. And look at this, guys. And what is this? Not too bad in milk, but seeing some emptiness. Drinks are looking a little depleted, but not too much. And the chips aisle as well. Some pockets of emptiness. Hey, the baking section, seeing some empty in the sugar and flour. And here's rice, is got a lot of pockets of emptiness. Probably people stocking up. Pasta doesn't look too bad yet.
Imagine a major natural catastrophe that happens. It's definitely going to be an influx of people trying to run out and buy things, panic buy, and you don't want to get caught up in that. Also, I don't know if you've ever tried to shop online certain retailers once a natural disaster happens, but typically they sell out of certain things. A lot of things are out of stock because even though it's an online reseller, those items can be shipped throughout the United States. So we're talking things, even water and pallets of water have been out of stock on certain websites during natural disasters. So you want to make sure you have water. You want to have, the recommendation is 1 gallon of water per person. Please throw that out the window. Please do your own research. I hate to be the person that actually just said that, but I'm saying that because 1 gallon of water really is just not sufficient. It's nowhere near enough. So you want to make sure that you take into account how many people you have in your household, how much it normally takes you to do regular things like brush your teeth. Take into account if you're going to have to hand wash dishes after disasters. We are almost a year out from what happened in North Carolina and Tennessee in August, and some people don't have water. They don't have clean, fresh water still. So this is a thing. There have been major storms over the last couple of weeks, and people are still without power and, water and things like that. So just don't think short term. Think for weeks and months ahead, possibly. I know it's hard to even fathom that you'll be without, but again, you never know. Make sure that you try to have some alternate way to light your home and cool your home, because we're coming up in the summertime and a lot of people die from heat. The heat is such a killer. Obviously when it's winter, you're cold, you can throw on blankets, hoodies and things like that to help you stay warm, although you still want to have an alternate heating source. But when it's hot, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it unless you have something to keep cool. So make sure you have that. Also make sure that you're keeping your vehicle full of gas, because a lot of times when these storms approach, people have lines wrapped around the gas station and they're grabbing those gas cans, 10 and 12 of them, trying to fill them up and put them in the back of their trucks. And you don't want to be caught doing that. Now, if you want to go ahead and prep and stay ahead, you can buy gas, and make sure you buy Sta-Bil, which is a fuel stabilizer, and that'll ensure that your gas lasts a lot longer than it typically would without it. Make sure you have canned goods on hand. So during a storm or even anytime after a storm, you don't want to have to worry about cooking. Not saying that you can't cook, but you want to save as much as fuel, depending on your heating or your cooking source. You want to try to limit that as much as possible and save it for when you really, really need it. So you want to think about quick foods. So canned raviolis, canned spaghetti, Vienna sausages, canned chicken. Make sure that you at least have a can opener, and please make sure you have several can openers in case one decides to fail. Also have things that maybe require just a little bit of water, like say hash browns. There's hash browns that Dollar Tree carries. All you have to do is add water, let it sit, and cook it. It's not going to take a whole lot of time, and it doesn't require a whole lot of ingredients, so consider that. Also make sure you have something to keep yourself entertained. When you're without power, you may get bored fast, especially in a world where we are addicted to internet and TV and things like that. So you're going to want to make sure that you have crossword puzzles, word searches, puzzles, games, outdoor things that you can do to keep everybody entertained, balls and things like that. If you have kids, make sure that they have items that they'll be able to make it through. So whether that's coloring books, crayons, markers, color pencils, card games, family games, things that you can play with them and that will help them, you know, stay entertained. Like I said, books and things like that. Toys, if there are special toys that they like, make sure you have toys and make sure they're used to playing with those toys. You also want to make sure that you get your medications. So make sure you have your medications filled, especially ahead of a storm. You don't know how long the pharmacy may be without power. You just don't know what will happen. If there's roads are diminished or demolished, then that means that the deliveries are going to be disrupted. So you don't want to be without your medications if you depend on pharmacy and not over-the-counter medications. Also make sure you have pet supplies, food, blankets, toys, things that they need and that they're used to. The thing about storms is you never know if you'll get like a notice to leave your home, so you want to also make sure that you have a go bag, which consists of, you know, clothes, toiletries, things that you need like every day. Make sure you have like copies of your birth certificate, and just important documents, social security cards and things like that. Make sure you keep them in a waterproof bag and make sure you know where to grab those at in the event that you have to hurry up and leave, like your insurance paperwork and important documents and things like that. But I'm going to do more videos like this to come because there's really a lot to get through when you're doing preparedness, especially when it comes to hurricanes and natural disasters. So I do want to share that information with you guys, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.